In this video, I'm going to show how I built a playable level for my indie game using Codex and Blender. Ghost Squadron is a mobile-first 2.5D attack plane game. The level has to work for flight, bombing, targets, objectives, and mobile readability. It has to be linear but show 3D perspective. There are multiple missions happening on the same location, so the level geometry could be reused. The idea is to use Codex to generate the Python script that is used in Blender to generate geometry, which gets imported into Godot. I'm describing to Codex what I want to see, what location, what landscape, components, features, time of the year. This gives me a nice first pass that I can iterate later. The important thing is to make sure it understands the desired landscape and scale. You can make references to existing models and components for that. For instance, I say refer to this player's plane model for scale. The level should be enough for this plane to fly around. It's good practice with Codex to include repetitive instructions into Edge's MD if you wanted to follow specific rules for a given task. For instance, here I referenced a separately installed Blender that could be used headless for tasks like that. So the whole process could be automated and controlled by Codex. Let me show some examples. The first example that worked well is this village location. I give it a description that I need to have a linear road where the most of action will be happening, and the background should be a classic Ukrainian village. I even gave a little house model from the sketch lab. It was able to go there, see the model, and reproduce it in a low poly version, which is impressive. It generated a lot of these little details, like look at this low polygonal trees, haystacks, and even simulation of weeds, which looks good enough for mobile game and could be totally used, especially as a demo. So for that particular level, I was really happy with the result. And as you can see, it was even able to find the materials and textures from the Godot project and use the dirt road texture here and use the dirt field texture on the field and the grass texture. So yeah, that's impressive first start. And it looks good. I was quite happy with the result, and I used it for the demo level that is shown in a previous video. Let's get into the bad result. The type of geometry that Codex mostly struggled with is an island. It surprisingly required a lot of back and forth and corrections to make just a simple island with smooth edges and a slight elevation, and it was not able to make hills or diverse landscape, so I will have to work with that manually later. The other day, I tried to do another level from scratch. For instance, here I gave it a photo of this rocky island. This is famous Ukrainian Snake Island, and told that I want the same rocky island adopted for my game. I went with planning mode. It generated a nice plan. It worked for 30 minutes and it ended up generating this. At least what I want to show here is a nice integration of headless Blender and Codex, so it was able to actually take a screenshot of the process and post it here. But unfortunately, the result was not really fantastic and not what I expected it to be. Anyway, it was a good experiment of how to use Codex and Blender together and wire them so it can post the screenshots. And more than that, I think I executed those tasks from the phone, and that's why it worked for 31 minutes, because you have to go on your phone and approve the command if Codex is gonna run something in Blender. Yeah, not all experiments are successful, and Codex is definitely not a magic bullet, but that is my little approach to level prototyping. This approach helps me to speed up the level development, quickly build new locations, or have a small level prototype. I hope it was helpful. Good night, everyone.